you, Kerry. Like, Kerry, I want to say this because I love us as a community and as a group. There is like a little bit of shift in the agenda. And you know what? I want everybody to know it's okay. Nobody
Mhm.
out there knows until we say something, and we're saying something to let everybody know this is how it works. We get a little messy with the order of things, and it's okay. But we want to say really quickly the reason that the commercials are what they are is because we sponsor our own selves. Like, we are literally sponsoring the different things with our podcast, with our segments, with all the things. So, this segment that we're about to go into is actually sponsored by Simply Biz Beans. And I want everybody to know that's a podcast that you started, was it 3 years ago, Carrie?
Yes, coming up next month. Mm.
And I and and Carrie generously, let me just say that, very generously included me because I kept showing up and she couldn't get rid of me. I kept showing up and asking questions, so she actually included me in the podcast. So,
Mhm.
Carrie, I would love for us to go ahead. We're just going to do this messy, and I want to go to that commercial because I think that commercial is important to show you off because I'm so proud of all the things that you're going to talk about today in your segment. So, if
Oh.
we could roll that commercial, that would be an awesome thing.
Do you struggle to understand your business finances? Are you sick of not being able to keep up with the beans in your business? Tune in to the Simply Biz Beans podcast for weekly coffee convos about business finances. This is where coffee meets money. Hosted by Kerry Zarb and Kim White in the virtual cafe, we invite you to join us at our table with your favourite brew. Because we understand your finances are as private as your underwear. This is why we share these personal conversations with you so that you can get in control of your business finances. We chat about the real issues we've faced with our flippin' digits and discuss everything in a simple way to help you on your Biz Beans journey. As Princess Kim would say, buckle up, and I'll say, come on, let's go, it's coffee time. Catch the Simply Biz Beans podcast on your favourite podcast channel today.
Welcome back, everyone. And it's time now to say our financial designer, Carrie Zarb, who is a rock star podcaster. On top of all the other things she does, she is the founder and owner of Zinc Business Solutions. And she is, man, Carrie, you are leading this community in such a sexy way to help all of us like learn to design our own finances. So Carrie, I want to move into your segment and say, like, let's go. It's coffee time. Can I say that this time?
You can, Kim. Always, always. I think it's incredible to have you on the show with me. Let me just say that first and foremost before we hop into today's topic. And I'm very grateful that you have volunteered to do that with me every single week. And we have a lot of fun and we talk about the hard stuff, but it is a good conversation and it is in the virtual cafe. So it's nice and relaxed and but we do tackle the tough things sometimes.
We do, Carrie. And you make it, I just want to like make sure everybody sets the environment. You make it so easy to talk about those things and get answers because of the virtual cafe setting. It's not a, calculator with the tape going out the back, all that stuff that we get stressed about thinking being in the accounting office. It's you and I having coffee and talking finances and getting things done. So thank you, Carrie, for including me.
You're welcome. So, Kim, today we want to talk about because it is a holiday weekend. Sorry, okay, rewind. So, over here, it's already started. So, I'm at the end of my Friday. You guys are starting your Friday into this holiday weekend. And we want to talk about does your income take a holiday when it's holiday time? So, it's a little bit spicy there, Kim, but I think it's something that we need to discuss because I'm sorry to say that I talk about the finances out loud because I want people to hear it. And I know that there's things that people aren't comfortable with, like the underwear in the top drawer, all the boxes and the receipts. It's all about that. But if we talk about it out loud, we can become more comfortable with it. So if you're going into the holiday season, sometimes we can make a little plan for this, Kim. Sometimes we can actually plan ahead and actually have a little stash of funds in our business so that we can take a break. Because a lot of entrepreneurs out there, well, and I'm guilty of this myself, you kind of ignore those holidays because we've got too much to do or we've got income to be made, and we don't even think about giving ourselves a break when the opportunity arises. We might have client demands to meet. So how can we balance those demands and the income so we can take a holiday?
Well, and Kerry, I want to also ask you this question to make sure I'm understanding too that you're also talking about planning, because as entrepreneurs, if we have a day off in a week that we're not doing customers or clients or making money, we can get ourselves into trouble because we didn't make a plan for the loss. And it's not really a loss, but for the difference in the income that may not be coming in on a holiday.
Correct, Kim. And what that comes down to a lot of the times is what our expenses look like. Because the expenses probably don't change. The expenses don't go on holiday necessarily. So therefore it's kind of that natural situation of, well, if the expenses don't go on holiday and then the income can't go on holiday, therefore I can't go on holiday. Well, hang on a second, why can't I take a break? So what's wrong in the mechanics of that, and what's the recipe kind of looking like that we need to have our kind of finger on the pulse with the numbers to make sure that we do see the opportunity to take a break? Because I know firsthand, Kim, and I know you know as well, and a lot of entrepreneurs out there are in the same cycle of, we get burnt out if we can't take a holiday because of those income expense pressures. Then we're just going to run dry and we're going to be exhausted, and that's not where I want anyone to be.
No. So, Carrie, can you give us one tip that we could do right now to not have that be such a hard thing?
Absolutely. So for those that are working in their business and maybe you've had a better couple of weeks before or even the month before, think about putting that money away. So if you can reserve some funds, so then you can take a break, so that that little shift in revenue, if you do have a few days out of the business, you're not worried about that. You've actually got that freedom. So by having those additional funds behind you, or likewise, depending on your business model and what industry you're in, you might know that you've got business coming through straight after it. So therefore, you can take a break and then put your red hot skates on straight after to make up that difference as well. So I don't want anyone to feel like there's not an option. There is. It does take a little bit of planning, but we can have that before and after effect to help us get through a little holiday break so that we can take some pressure off.
I love that, Carrie. Thank you. And I think everybody should get their calendar, since Jill talked about that, and find out the dates for the holidays and set that aside. Look, Carrie, it's all connecting the dots again.
It is. It's amazing how these things come together.